Hello everyone, my name is Damon Gordon, and I'm going to talk about a specific tactic in negotiations. That tactic, as you can see here, is the tactic of threats and warnings. So, what exactly is a threat or warning with regards to negotiations? According to the Columbia Business School, a threat or warning is a proposition that issues demands and warns of the cost of noncompliance. There are 4 different things you want to consider before making a threat. The first is that emotions can cloud judgment. A threat should never be made on emotions, especially anger. In a negotiation, the negotiator must be immune to the pressures that the other parties may put on them that evoke emotions. Secondly, what you don't want to happen during a negotiation is having a threat being countered from the other party with an even bigger threat. You will lose all your leverage that you had created throughout the negotiation and will likely end up losing the negotiation. Number 3, it might sound simple, but it happens all the time. Don't make a threat that will end up costing you more than it will the other side. Make sure you and your party won't be the big loser if you have to carry on with your threat. The last thing you want to consider is the possibility of going through with your threat. If you are bluffing and they call your bluff, all future threats will not be credible. This will even possibly carry over to other negotiations in the future. When to use threats in a negotiation. Sometimes the other party won't meet with you or try to negotiate with you in any form. There's a deadlock that's happening. A threat can be made to get them to the bargaining table. Next, the other party might try and delay the settlement or try and stop the settlement from happening. A threat has a possibility of making people pick their feet up and continue to move. Lastly, you might suspect that even though the negotiation is over with, that the other party might not end up following through with what they said. A threat can be a great motivation tool to make sure that everything happens as it is supposed to. Things to consider when threatened. As soon as you are threatened, if possible, try and take a break during the negotiation. You'll be able to analyze the threat in more detail. The first thing you want to find out is why they are threatening you. Was it out of anger and emotion? Sometimes the party might want to show that they are playing hardball, but behind closed doors, they actually didn't mean the threat. Are they playing the victim, the pragmatist, or bluffer? The victim just wants to be heard. The pragmatist is informing you of limitations or badness they face, and the bluffer is just trying to be dominant. Next, let them know that you understand where they are coming from. Listen, acknowledge, and apologize to them. Ask questions to get more of an understanding, get them to open up more about the situation. Implementing the mirroring tactic is a good tool to use in this phase. Next, label the threat. Was it a bluff or was it a real threat? If it was a bluff, call them out on it and turn the conversation back to finding a solution. Sometimes they can be playing hardball and there may be no other option but to respond with a counter threat. Then again, try and turn the conversation back to finding a solution. Just to recap, a threat or warning is a proposition that issues demands and warns the cost of noncompliance. The 4 things to consider before making a threat are: is the threat based on emotion? Can your threat receive a counter threat that trumps yours? Was your threat cost you more than what it will cost the other side? Be prepared to carry on with your threat. When to use threats or warnings: to get your counterpart to the bargaining table, to stop the party from pushing back from settling, to make sure that the negotiation is followed through with. What to do when threatened: diagnose the threat, express understanding, ask questions, label the threat, and counter threat. Thanks for listening, everyone. Again, my name is Damon Gordon, and I hope you enjoyed my teach-a topic.